Now, the last speaker, who is coordinator of this group, delivering democracy, retrospect and prospect, Shri Basavaraju Shreshta.
Okay. Dear sisters and brothers of civil society family, my pranams to you and thanks for this opportunity to speak, stand in front of you and share my thoughts and share about the plans of my working group, delivering democracy, retrospect and prospect. And my special thanks to Pedro for making the case strong, why we need to take care of democracy better. Otherwise, what will be the consequences? So he laid down wonderfully the rationale and evidence that why also in India, why we all need to keep working to strengthen and deepen our democracy. And thanks to my guru and mentor, Dr. Basavaraju, for explaining democracy in such a simple way. In fact, that's exactly I thought before we took up the responsibility of delivering democracy working group. Yeah. The next slide, please. So in order to tell the focus, agenda, theme, whatever we call of delivering democracy working group, I'm gonna briefly narrate this story and talk about that women sitting in that, on that chair there in front of all of us actually. This happened a month ago when we were visiting Doima village in Jharkhand, where we are doing Jan Arogya Samiti program, strengthening people's committee, the grassroots people's committee for strengthening health system, health service delivery for the people there actually. So when we were interacting, the CHO introduced this excellent human being. She said, sir, you should meet a person here who is also a member of Jan Arogya Samiti. Her name is Sylvia Pankaj. And it all happened when the entire village was conducting a social audit facilitated by Gram and called by the local panchayat. And the community health officer was listing what is good and what is not so good in the community health center, because typically in social audit we hold the service delivery personnel accountable. But here in this case, what was happening is actual Janbhagidari, where they were discussing how we can all make our community health center better. So there the CHO expressed the sanitation and hygiene is one of the major challenge, and we don't have somebody to support us in this particular area. We also don't have our untied fund released yet. We are expecting. That's it. That happened in the social audit. They listed all those things. The next day, Sylvia Pankajji comes to the CHO, the health center, health and wellness center, and says, where is the broom? And she simply picks up the broom and start cleaning the health and wellness center. And CHO was a little gullible and asked her, so I don't have money to pay you, my untied fund is not yet released. She said, who asked you the money? Will you ask me money whenever I come for the treatment here? No. Then why are you worrying about money? Let me allow my job to do. It is my health and wellness center and I am going to take care of it. And that is what actually wonderfully tells us about all these things. And in very briefly, we have kept all those things what we have learned on that day as an agenda, as a focus, as a philosophy for our working group. This exactly happened just before a couple of days when I was given the responsibility of being a national coordinator for democracy group, and we were the last group to join the family. And we are keenly discussing Janbhagidari, the people, not just participation, the stakeholdership in the entire process of development. The grassroots democracy, the need and the ways to strengthen it and strive it, and democratizing development, inclusive democracy, decentralized governance, people-centric governance, democratic responsibilities, youth and democracy, digital democracy, empowered engagement of community, and more importantly, innovative and impactful solutions for dynamic challenges. We know the challenges keep changing. The problems remain same. The causality keeps changing. We need to find out newer ways, newer solutions to address the same old problem again and again. Next slide, please. And this is what our Honorable Prime Minister said. India is the mother of democracy. In the last 75 years, we have seen a lot of ups and downs, but still, there have been sorrows as well as achievements in these years, but unity in diversity became our guiding power, and we are sustaining and strengthening our democracy again and again, taking the spirit from this. In fact, in the last 2 days, I'm seeing a lot of yogis and yogins in this hall, and that has brought a lot of spirituality to this discourse and deliberations. I was thinking how I can probably understand democracy from the spiritual perspective. The biggest metaphor I could find is democracy probably can be related to God. God is omnipresent, but you can't probably directly feel him or touch him or experience him. Similarly, the democracy is. You need to keep working, keep finding ways actually for your own methods to reach God or to access the sakshatkara of God. Similarly, the democracy, we all need to keep working, keep reinforcing democratic value, keep reinforcing democratic principles. It's not something to be forgotten as thinking that we are the mother of democracy. The next. So we in our working group feel democracy, a development without democracy is like a society without morality. So democracy is fundamental to whatever the development we talk. It has to happen on the foundation of democracy. Next one, please. And the guiding principles, we have taken it from SDG 16. I'm not going to take much time on it. And also from our Viksit Bharat 2047 vision document of Government of India, where it says India wants to connect her vision through her citizens. That's what it says. That's what we all need to do actually. Under rich culture and heritage, improve her citizens' psychology, redefine governance, improve environment and sustainability, streamline policies, processes and systems, improve institutional delivery and develop infrastructure. So our guiding principles are taken from this, and we want to achieve first the information base of civil society organization working on democracy and governance. We have databases of our organization working on health, education, water, sanitation, but governance and democracy, which is fundamental. In fact, we are ourselves finding hard to have that information base available. First, in G20 nations, whether we can assimilate that information base, that's our effort. And strengthen CSO coalition in India and G20 nation, a policy note to G20 Secretariat, how all these thematic areas can be addressed, and contributing to the encouraging environment for work towards SDG 16. Next, please. And we have planned to achieve this. To find God, there are multiple ways and multiple activities to be conducted. Similarly, to strengthen and deepen democracy, we have planned 63 events are planned. Around 20 plus countries are expected to take part in all the events. Around 5,000 youths are expected to take part in all the events. 15,000 participants are expected to take part in the various events, and 200 speakers are expected to take part in all the different deliberations. Around 500 foreign nationals are expected to take part in all the events. Around 1,000 civil society organizations are expected to be connected through various activities, and more importantly, around 10,000 online engagement is expected to happen. Next, please. And we had this excellent and encouraging curtain raiser last month, which was inaugurated by Dhyaneshwar Manohar Mule, the NHSRC, the National Human Rights Commission member, and all dignitaries from government, academia, civil society took part in the curtain raiser event. Next. Next, please. Yeah, this is something I want to tell you, and also use this opportunity to invite you for the international conference we are planning on 12th and 13th of April in Bengaluru. So it is on delivering democracy, retrospect and prospect. We have youth and democracy and people participation and grassroots governance, strengthening and deepening democracy, and responsible voting and responsible governance, various panels which will be discussing the themes and agendas what I've already shared, and you're welcome to take part in that particular conferences in Bengaluru. The next, please. And this is something to engage with more and more youth. We have planned a poster presentation both for youth and civil society organization to showcase their udaharans, their best practices to strengthen and deepen democracy, as well as youth's views and perception about their participation for strengthening democracy. This both college, we have launched something called Campus 20, to working with 20 campuses across India. So if you are an education institution, please do join us for the Campus 20 program to work with future of country, future of democracy, to bring in them. Because as we all know, even today, the civic engagement of our youth is 0.14, and their political engagement is 0.4. And that being the case, we can't certainly be casual and leisure about democracy if they don't take part, if they don't understand democratic principles, if they don't understand their responsibilities. It's not, democracy is not going to thrive in this country as well. So the next is the webinar series, international webinar series we are going to plan. Just a second, please, next please. And civil society for democracy, we want to come out with udaharans of what civil societies have done to strengthen and deepen democracy in their own way. So that's something, the best cases we want to publish as compendium as well as a video document. Regional 20, to have more and more civil societies to take part. As Dr. Basavaraju sir was suggesting that the civil societies who should have been participating here and probably should be participating. So to create that platform, we are working with 5 different regional organizations to organize this at the 5 different cities of the country. Next, please. Yeah, these are all the various activities. I'm not going to take your time on this. My stance on democracy, tweet and engage, democracy yatra, shades of Indian democracy, to surface the rich heritage and culture of democracy. It is not now we learned, it is Vaishali and Vajji was there for us. If you go to Tamil Nadu, Uttaramerur was also there for us to showcase the models of democracy around 2000 years ago. If you come to Karnataka, there are Anubhava Mantapa and Badami Chalukya's village committees were there. We need to understand the democratic rich heritage and values which was there in India long ago, that has to be resurfaced as a shades of democracy. And yeah, next please. And these are all my respected members of the working groups. And next slide please. And we are supported by the CYSD, Indian Institute for Democratic Learning, Bala Vikasa, CUTS, Yuva Vikas Kendra, Gramya are also a new partner who would like to take G20 to Panchayat 20. We would like to organize the round table with 20 panchayats across country to have the grassroots voice heard actually. And also Art of Living, Government of Karnataka, and NR Foundation, many such organizations are also supporting us. Thank you for this opportunity.